There's a question I often receive. Other people believe in the great historical world religions like Christianity or Buddhism. But people wonder, why is it that you, who are a foreigner here in Korea, believe in a small new religion that was started by a Korean? That question somehow suggests that there might be something wrong with those who choose the Unification Church and that they are being deceived. But it actually is not so. I've studied at universities in 3 countries, am fluent in 4 languages, and have published several books that were translated in several languages. I am well educated and there is nothing wrong with me socially. I love God, I love people, and I believe in the realization of a world of peace and goodness. This is the reason why I chose the Unification Church. My name is Maarten Meijer and I'm originally from the Netherlands, or Nederland as people say in Korea. And this is my lovely wife, Myra. She's from New York City in America. And we received the blessing a long time ago in 1982, so that's now almost 34 years ago. So I went to university in the Netherlands and then also in America and then later on in Russia. And I worked as a missionary in our church in both America and Russia. And now I'm living in Korea. I'm teaching at high school at Chungcheom International Academy. I'm teaching world religions and philosophy and English. And of course I'm writing books.
I decided to come to Korea when my daughter was accepted into the GAP program, foreign students, second gen that can come to study in Korea, Korean language and Korean culture. So I thought it was really a blessing and really a wonderful opportunity for us to come live here as a family.
Actually, I like living in Korea because Korean people are very warm-hearted people, and so we feel comfortable to be around Koreans. It's really beautiful here. We live in Sorak, in Seormyeon, in the countryside, and it's a beautiful place, so I'm really happy over here. Yeah, it's for me, because I do a lot of different things throughout the day and throughout my life, teaching, writing, taking care of my family. For me, this is the time when I get my spiritual energy, my spiritual power, when I kind of charge up my batteries, to prepare for the day. So through my hundoke and through my prayer, I get a lot of spiritual power.
I think Maarten is an amazing person. When I was praying for a husband, I prayed for somebody that was really faithful and really hardworking, outgoing, loving person. And Maarten was exactly that person. But he was even more than that. He was handsome, he was funny, he was intelligent, and very responsible. So Maarten has always been more than I thought that I could dream of in a husband. We're very different in characters. He's very outgoing, he's very goal-oriented. I'm more a quiet type, shy type. But so that's good because we complement each other, our relationship. We complement each other, even though we're very different, because we have the same goals, the same dreams, the same faith, and the same love for God and to parents. So we are united in that sense.
So you said that.
Impact in a single area, such as type of government or education or the food supply.
Okay. So oftentimes you have to make a choice. Okay, that's very important. You take a large subject.
Temporary trend in the market. So
Maybe your topic will become your title, but that's uncommon.
John Locke's influence on U.S. Constitution was greater. I'm kind of concerned because
Actually, I was a part of Chongqing International Academy's organization already before the school opened in 2006. And in the beginning, I just taught world religion classes, but then over time, gradually other subjects were added to it. I started to teach English and then philosophy and ethics, and now I'm already in my 11th year at the school.
Are you going to do the interview right now?
Well, some kind of meaningful purpose that you will. Unfortunately, in today's education system, there's a tremendous amount of attention given to external things that are important, like science or economics, politics, history. And of course, all those subjects are important, but unfortunately, the internal development of the children, of the students, is oftentimes not sufficiently paid attention to, like their character formation, how they prepare for future marriage or family life and things like that, and even deeper questions as the purpose of life or questions of good and evils. Even though the subjects sometimes are not directly related to those issues, I'm trying to bring these issues to the children's attentions in my philosophy classes or even in English classes by encouraging them to research subjects that are dealing with those kind of important fundamental human life questions. Yeah, that's understandable, it's just like a first try. So what kind of elements would you like to see?
학생의 가능성, 포텐셜을 되게 다 끌어올리시는 분이세요. 저희가 할 수 있을 때까지 계속 더 쓰라고 계속 약간 응원 같은 거 해주시는 선생님이세요.
되게 기준이 높으세요, 라이팅에 대해서. 근데 그게 절대적인 기준이 아니라 학생별로 그 실력을 최대한 높일 수 있게 있잖아요. 그래서 예를 들어서 내가 원래 이 정도 하는 애였으면 이 정도 좀 그것까지 높여주려고 하는 그러신 분이고, 그것도 학생마다 다 기준이 다르니까 모든 학생들에게 다 신경을 그만큼 써주신다는 걸 보여주기도 하고, 그런 의미에서 되게 훌륭하신 분인 것 같아요.
You have to be friendly. You always have to be. So I like to go up to the trail as often as I can with my son, and it's a nice exercise, and it's also fun to spend time together and talk with each other. And that is what the shrub, right? So he's saying that the so the implication is that because Moses negated. No, that is when they crossed the Red Sea. That is separate. Yes, I spend a lot of time talking about my faith with my son, and we study divine principle very deeply. And he asks very, very good questions, very, very deep questions. So if you look at the Bible, it's very interesting. The third son has always kind of a special position in the Bible. There's Cain, Abel, and Seth, and then there's Shem, Ham, and Japheth in Noah's family. And then the third son always has a special position. When there's some problem or so with the first two sons, then the providence of God continues through the third son. Of course, I love all three of my sons, all my children, but somehow my third son has a very inquisitive mind, a very deep sense of religious faith.
설명할 수 없을 만큼 이게 항상 저한테 해주는 거를 너무 고마워하고 그런 아버지를 두었다는 자랑스러움을 느껴요.
Of course, my family is very precious to me. They say in English there's an expression, home is where the heart is. So when I think about my family, there are many deep feelings and emotions that come to me. And of course, because it's a blessed family, it's very special, because it's really the place where I can experience God in and through my family. However, no one knows about this mind that seeks, yearns for, and urges us toward the ideal. So whatever we think and advocate. Because we, as the first generation, we joined because of divine principle, especially myself also. I heard principle, and so I developed belief. And also Father always emphasizes hundo ke a lot. We thought that just by teaching principle, the second generation would also believe. But so I was in the past quite strong with hundo ke, with my older children. But then I realized that with the second generation, we need to take a different kind of approach. That a lot of patience and love and heart is even more important than just teaching the truth. So I became, with my younger children, especially my youngest son, I became more patient, more interactive, and emphasizing a more like loving and patient approach. And of course, also each child is different, so you have to vary your approach also according to what kind of personality type your child is. You cannot just say, oh, I'll teach this one exactly the same as all the other ones. Well, basically I love and I respect my father very much. He's a very good person. But in some ways, I guess I disappointed him at two particular times in my life. One was when I attended university in the Netherlands, and I was a science major at that time. And I became kind of disappointed with my studies because I somehow felt some spiritual unrest in my mind, in my heart. And I felt that the university was not really answering my deeper questions. So I discontinued my studies after 2 years, and my father was very disturbed and upset by that. Well, how can you just stop your university study in the middle of that? So after I decided to stop my studies, then I started traveling, and I went from Europe to the United States of America. And in America I met the Unification Church. I joined the Unification Church after hearing Divine Principle lectures and being really moved by them. So when I told my parents about that, they were very, very worried about me. They had hired some of these so-called deprogrammers, and one of them was even a former Unification Church member. So for several days they were just attacking the Unification Church and Reverend Moon. It's very, very bad, and it's a crazy belief, and leave this church. So I just continued, because of the respect I felt for my parents, I continued to try to, in a reasonable way, respond to all these accusations. But after several days I realized this is not going to stop. So unfortunately I had to just kind of quietly leave my home and then return to the church by myself. And despite all this attacking and accusation, I kept my religious faith, because I knew that the Divine Principle was true and that the true parents were true, and I did not change my faith or abandon my religion. So all these things couldn't change my religious faith, and I'm still a proud and happy Unification Church member today.